I still have a week. You don't vote on those.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and then you have your representatives, which is Foley, who liked you, and Kelly's head coach are representatives for Class 2, District 1.
Mhm.
And Kelly's head coach is a Clemson.
Coach, can you hear me? I take that as a no.
I can hear you now.
Okay. You all good? You can see everything? Everything look good?
Yeah. We're just
All right.
talking about how all state works and all that fun stuff.
Okay. I got you. Well, for those just tuning in, welcome to the Boot Hill Sports Network. I'm Jeremy Abrams, joined alongside Coach D, Coach Dom, Coach G, whatever you want to call him. And we got a special guest tonight, and that's Oscar Dominguez. Oscar, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, how are you?
Good, sir. Coach, let's just get into it and start off with a wrap up of the season. How do you feel about the unfortunate turnout of the final game plus the entire season in general?
I'm cool with it. I mean, naturally, you play the Titan and Valley Catholic. Um, you know, I mean, that's a good football team, and I think winning 7 games is good. I think there's some games that we left a little on the field, a little meat on the bone. Um, but what can you do? I mean, when it comes down to it, it's all about performing, and I think we took a big step forward from 2-8 to 4-5 to 7-4. And I think with all the guys who are returning, we could take a big step next year.
Well, see, I think that's what a lot of people, maybe your general football fan, look at is the overall record, and it was a big turnaround from last season. I got to say, congratulations because it was a great season, fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how everything turned out, and I'm pleased with what we were able to do. And um, now we're going into award time, so that's always interesting. And Oscar's up for the big one defensively, which is exciting. He's our first Crowsville nomination, and if he brings it home, I told him the other day we got to buy a new banner for the field house.
Oh,
For the
absolutely, and I'd love to be there for the presentation. And that's one thing I was going to talk about because I've been covering Crowsville football for so long, and we had the 4 straight car trophy winners, and always good defensive players that just didn't shine as much, I guess, as other players. And this year, and Oscar, this goes to you. I got to tell you, I don't remember a play on defense that I didn't call your number or your name.
Nice to hear.
Coach, we got another one that doesn't talk much, huh?
Yeah, Oscar's not a talker.
Okay.
It's amazing because Oscar got a little hemmed up early in the year and twisted his ankle against Malden, and then his ankle was still all jacked up when we played Park Hills. So you're talking 85 plus tackles in that 85 to 95 range. Um, and then so you only play a quarter against in a blowout win, and then you miss a game, and then you have Donovan cancel on us. So you take that 11 game sample size and you bring it down to almost eight,
Eight or eight and a
eight and a
half. Yeah.
quarter, and then
Yeah.
you're talking, yeah, and you're talking about a historic season defensively, and um, it's one of those things where stats play a big part in it, and that's why those offensive awards are so. You got me, Jeremy?
I lost you for a second there. You got me, Coach?
When this ankle still bothers me.
Hmm?
It still
I
bothers
can
me.
hear you guys. I
Yeah,
don't know if you
the
can hear
ankles
me
are
or not.
weird.
Can you hear me at all, Coach? folks, if you tune in. We're having a little difficulty trying to get Coach back online with us.
Ye old internet problems.
There's been internet problems all over town for the last week.
Yeah, it's been brutal.
Horrible.
I mean, we're an iPad district, and when those iPads went out, you would have thought everything was going crazy here. But that's what I was saying. So you get those offensive awards, and it's easy to kind of judge, like the Jamarion kid from Portersville. I mean, you rush for 500, 400 something yards in a game. Like,
Right.
that's pretty clear cut. But then you start factoring in defensively. Like, there's one of the kids that was nominated, and all three of them are really good football players. Don't get me wrong. But you look into the physicality of it, and really what it means to be a good defensive player. And I think that makes it harder for the defensive guys to win those awards, because everybody is so hyper focused with stats that it's not always about the stats. It's about the physicality and playing defense and the impactful tackles that you have. So like when we really look at these guys, and of course I have a bias because Oscar's our kid. You look at, I'm just trying to pull up. You've got the kid from Poplar Bluff, and he had 101 tackles. Okay, but we've got to compare. Like, you got to look at the schedule. Like, we play up a lot.
Right.
Like,
and you also got to remember how many games were played by both
how many
players.
games were playing. You have the Weathers kid, and Dexter's D line that's a good D line. I mean, that's a good D line. But Oscar still had a day against Dexter. So when you look at all that kind of stuff, and then you factor in the quality of the tackles and the quality of the opponents, and I'm not saying either of those two teams played a weak schedule. Like, Poplar Bluff they had a really good year. I think they lost to Farmington, and yeah, I mean, and they were the number 1 seed. And
Right.
then Dexter had a really good year, and we had a good year. So all that stuff kind of meshes in, and I think when these three are on the stage, all three of them are deserving, but I think Oscar had the most impressive season at all three of them, especially when it comes down to the physicality of the tackles and all that kind of stuff, and then playing up, and you factor in the fact that he played 3 games less than those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
He had a great year.
Well, see, and that's the thing, Oscar, between last season and this season, whether I was doing the PA or doing the broadcast here on the Boot Hill Sports Network, even if you weren't the first one to make the tackle, I felt like you were in on every single play on defense, every single play.
It's basically like you were on.
Did we freeze up again?
We kind of cut out there. And I think that's a big thing to note, that he was everywhere on the field for us all season.
Yes, and that's exactly right. I mean, it's 55. Is that correct? And breaking up again. Folks, for those of you watching, sorry, the internet around here just is not good.
We had a big outage.
Yeah, Coach G and Oscar Dominguez. And if you guys can hear me, Oscar, it's number 55, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You couldn't watch a Tiger football game without seeing 55 everywhere. And I think the fans, the media, myself included, everyone noticed that. So, and especially with you playing less games than some of those other guys that Coach G talked about, I really wish you the best uh, at the award ceremony.
Thank you.
And can you tell
Shoot,
me just a little bit about how you feel about your season?
well, it's pretty rough. Me personally, I feel like I had a bad season just because of injury and missing two games, what 3 quarters,
Yeah, almost 3 full games.
Right.
and I got a sprained ankle first quarter Malden. That messed me up. I missed Donovan because they canceled, and then I missed Park Hills because still wasn't healthy. And then end up just playing on it, wrapping up, taping up real good. You can't miss out on your junior season. You got to play
Right.
that. And it all went all right.
How, for the people that haven't played football or don't even didn't get to a game or anything, what does it feel like when you hear your name over the PA that often during a game?
After about the first 3 plays, I don't hear it no more. I just zone out.
I think I bet your coach likes that answer better than anyone else because you're focused on the game, and I love that. I love to hear that. But yes, you can rest assured on the Boot Hill Sports Network, every game that we covered, you got a lot of DAP, a lot of credit for everything you did. And I just want to congratulate you on a terrific season.
Thank you.
I can't look. I can't wait till next year. You'll be a senior,
Mm-hmm.
and I know for a fact that you're a leader.
Yes,
Coach,
he is.
Coach, I was going to ask you before we get into the rest of the business. Can you just say whatever you want to say after since the season's over with about this finalist for a defensive award, a big award?
I think when you look at, and naturally haven't watched film on the other guys, so it's not a knock on them. I know one of them we played against is a phenomenal football player. I think when you look at the games that are played, and then you look at the quality of opponent, and then you look at the physicality of the plays, I think it's one of those situations where stats matter to an extent, but the style of play matters even more. And I think when we base our decision on these awards and even all conference and all district and stuff, who do you game plan against? And when you're talking about the guys that we had that one all conference, that I'm not allowed to discuss until the conference puts them out, but when we sat in that meeting, it's who do we have to play game plan against? And when you sit down, you see Jadis Jones, you're like, okay,
Mhm.
I had a game plan against Jadis. I had a game plan against this kid. I had a game plan against this kid. And I think on our defense, there's a triangle of kids that we had to prepare for, but I think that teams have to prepare for. But I think at the top of the triangle was Oscar, and I think that this award is something that, of course, him being a finalist is within his reach, but this is a award that he should bring home just based on the fact of his quality of play.
And I'd have
I
to
do.
agree.
I don't think there's many kids that work as hard as he does. I don't think there are as many kids that have that old school football mentality of, I mean, shoot, he hit a kid so hard that it wasn't even a penalty, and they called it a penalty, which I'm still a little salty about.
I thought I was gonna get ejected.
Yeah, he threatened to get ejected for making what everybody other than the officials perceives as a legal hit.
Okay, see that's one thing that I'm big on. I always watch that kind of thing. I didn't notice or didn't hear about that yet until just now.
Yeah, so it ended up getting us a 15-yarder, but that's what playing defense is, that nastiness to it. I mean, you got Monte who had a bunch of picks, and Jermaine had 80 something tackles as a D end, but you're talking about like a thumper on the defense side of the ball. I don't think there's a kid in our area that can match his physicality in the box.
Once again, I have to agree. I hate agreeing with you all the time, but I have to because those are facts. And I can tell you, Oscar, it was an absolute pleasure to watch you on the field this year. And like I said, I cannot wait till next year. And I got to feel hopefully we get to play all the games. There's no cancellations. We don't have any virus issues, if you know what I'm saying. But it'll be a good year for you. What are your off-season plans?
Train. No, I plan on getting more explosive because I ain't gonna lie, them gained a little bit of weight. About 30 pounds in the past season.
Man, just throw it into muscle, man. That's all you gotta do.
I was doing good with staying conditioned and everything until about February, and then I picked up the cold, started eating.
As he walks in with a cherry Coke.
A cherry Coke, yes. Well, I don't think you're doing anything wrong, but either way, it's going to be a fun season next year.
I mean,
Coach,
it'll be exciting. We'll be senior pack next year.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and not to mention the freshman squad you had this year will just only hopefully be bigger and stronger.
We had 55 kids in the weight room all week, so
that's incredible. That's great.
It was really encouraging to see, and especially when you had the 8th graders joining in. So it was nice. I mean, I printed 50 workouts, and then I had to go print 20 more, and it's encouraging. It's encouraging.
100%. Do you have any, like, did you, after, unfortunately, you were eliminated, do you follow the playoffs the rest of the way?
Kind of. I mean, I'm always rooting for the team that beat us.
Right. You want to lose to the best, right?
Yeah. I mean, I went up to watch Coach Gibbs at Cape last weekend. I'm not going to a game this weekend. But you're always rooting for those guys. Like everybody's got friends that they coach with. Like you're always rooting for guys like Tristan Pulley over at Sykes, and I really like Tristan a lot. I like Judd at Valley Catholic a lot. You want to root for those guys and pay attention to their seasons. And I think at this point, I think Cape's in the quarterfinals. And last year, I think they were a game away from the state finals. Game away from the state finals. You're always rooting for Valley because they're the team that knocked us off. And, I'm rooting for them all the way coming out of our district. I watched a little bit of that Portersville-Thayer game. I'm excited to see Portersville play this week. I'm gonna buy the game on my phone so I can watch it a little bit. You always want to watch those local teams do really well. It's good for the area when somebody's rolling.
Sam, that's a great point. I was going to ask you, what did you think about the outcome of the Portersville New Madrid game? Because that was the game, probably in this area, probably the game of the year, if not for the Battle of the Boot Heel. And no one really saw the final score coming out to be what it was.
I think Portersville's grooving. I mean, they got that running back's phenomenal. They're physical. I think they played a New Madrid team that looked like they were pretty beat up, and I'm not taking anything away from Portersville. I think that game's played week 4. It's a different game. There's a lot more scoring going on both sides, or on at least one side. I'm happy for New Madrid, or I'm happy for Portersville. Like,
I feel like a lot of people thought that'd be at the final, like a 1-touchdown game.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly believe in Portugal's phenomenal football team. I still think they score. I mean, they did the right things. They found their groove quick, and I mean that Jamarion kid ran for what, like 230 something or 430 something.
Yeah,
something
outrageous.
40-32, like that's insane.
Yeah.
I think the healthy New Madrid team is a different ball club. Because they got that 3-headed horse with the Minter kid was healthy, and then BJ's healthy and Jadis is healthy. That's tough to contain. I was expecting to go down the wire.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. I was kind of like, whoa, okay. It's like,
yeah, I got kind of out of hand pretty quick.
Yeah, they jumped out quick. I was like, oh, go get them. I was happy for them.
Yeah, and see, that's the same thing. I hate, obviously I'm a Crothersville guy. I root for Crothersville against any team around here, but when the teams around here start moving on deeper and deeper in the playoffs, I'd rather see someone from Southeast Missouri go farther than I would see someone from let's just say, St. Louis area.
Well, we got such like a bad rap down here.
Yes.
I think it's so populated up north that all those guys are like, oh, well, I'll vote for your guy if you vote for our guy over the kid from Southeast Missouri. Da, da, da. But, and I'm not saying that's how it is, but that's just how I imagine it.
I'm
but
sure that's how it is.
I'm sure. But we got this card stacked against us down here, and there's good. I mean, Charleston basketball, Sykeston basketball, New Madrid basketball, like Portersville football, like this year, and then New Madrid football, and there's a lot of great sports down here. And as much as you want to see, like you don't really want to see the guys that you or your rivals against win sometimes. Um, every coach, and I don't care what any coach said, that's truth.
Oh,
But
I
when it
believe it.
comes down to the playoffs and losing the playoffs, it is about us being. We should all rally around each other as we start getting deep, because you're all on the same team when you've only got a couple teams left playing.
Yeah, and that's one question that's directly for you. Um, and you can be as honest or lie, whatever you want to do. When it comes to the other coaches, the ones you see uh, locally a lot, is there just a friendly rivalry, or is there bad blood right away just because they're a rival? Like, how does that work for you?
I mean, you all have to be like, if you think about it like this, there's probably 10,000 football coaches in the country. We all have to be on the same team until Friday night.
Right.
I
I know.
mean, there's guys that are really good friends with each other. Like for instance, the head coach at Park Hill Central and Judd, the head coach at Valley. They went to high school together. They were college roommates. They've been friends forever, so they're always going to have that bond. But then you got the the coaches that don't necessarily have that bond, but you still got to care about each other to an extent, because we're all in the business together. We're all in the same boat when it boils down to we're all trying to win. We're all trying to do what's best for our kids, and we're all kind of in the business for the reason. Because I'm telling you one thing: nobody in Southeast Missouri is coached for the paycheck.
Right. See, and that's what I think is the biggest difference. And again, a lot of people don't realize it from high school to college, and then you get to the NFL, the pros. The pros, that's all about the dollars. College, that's all about trying to get the kids, uh, which now I got, kids get paid now too. But when it comes to high school, it's 100% about the kids' success moving forward, and that's why I think it's more important for coaches in high school to be kinder to each other. I guess is the lack of a better word than it is when you go up in the tiers in college and NFL.
Well, especially in an area like this, like if Coach Fullhart and I hated each other, it would make our life so much more difficult, because we have a set of brothers on our team. Like he's got one brother on his team, and I got one brother on mine. And then if Sean Jackson and I didn't like each other, all of our kids are related.
Yeah.
Like somebody's cousin, somebody's brother, somebody. Like there's so much inner web of our kids that if we can't work as a team in some form or fashion, nothing, like we're just not going to be able to maximize what we have.
And Oscar, how about you? Is there any certain game that kind of gets you get more prepared for, or are you just 100% all the time?
Dexter, Kenneth. That's about it.
You get what makes you more fired up about those games?
Man, so I had a bad experience freshman year. A bad experience. In Dexter, it was raining. We was on kickoff return, and somebody hit the family jewels on purpose. They need me and everything. And
Was there a
ever since
flag
that
on it?
day, no,
No flag.
none.
Well, I just
Naturally.
this is what I like though, Coach. Uh, just like we had with a couple other guests, I like the honesty. I like the just genuinity of hearing what they really think. That's why I asked the question. So I guess we're going to be excited to see those two games next year. But
I
you
don't
don't
even think we
plan
have them on
on
the schedule.
neither one? I haven't seen the schedule yet, so well, Oscar, I got to ask
The
you.
schedule's gonna look a little, the schedule's going to look a little different. There's a lot of reshuffling in the SEMO conference.
I heard about that, but like I said, I haven't heard who's going where and what. But I was going to ask Oscar, do you plan on retaliating that same low blow to anybody next season?
Yeah, see, you gotta go or you gotta go home. Because on defense, either you're gonna hit somebody or you're gonna get hit.
Right. Well, I just think that's. I didn't know how that story was going to end up, but I'm glad you're okay. But I think it's hilarious to hear that. That's why you have a vendetta against was it Dexter?
And then the Kenny vendetta is because sophomore year, I ain't never been hit for real. I got hit, like it ain't hurt. I got knocked down. I got embarrassed because I was on a blitz from linebacker, and the running back, I was chasing the quarterback. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a sack. It's light work, you know what I mean?
You didn't see him coming, did you?
Yo,
There's nothing like a good blindside to wake you up and put you to sleep at the same time.
oh yeah, he got me. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, again, I think all of us watching at home and listening cannot wait for the football season to start next year. And then because I say that, I'm going to transition to Coach. How big of a basketball fan are you?
I like Roseville basketball. There's these like really genuine sports fans, and they like all sports. Like they like baseball, they like football, they like basketball. I like football, and because it's kind of what I do.
Well, it's
I
not
will.
kind of what you do; it's what you do.
That's what I do. I'll go to every Crowsville basketball game that's in a 40-minute drive because once you get past that, that's when I kind of tune out. That's too far for me. I don't like leaving Crowsville very much. It's big if I go to Dyersburg.
Only if you need to go to Walmart.
And trust me, if I needed that bad, I'll order it. But I'll go to every Crowsville game I can. I'll go to the middle school basketball games. I'll go to the girls' games, all that. But when it boils down to like me, like really enjoying the game of basketball, it's not really my favorite. But I'll always support the football kids and whatever they do.
Well, I'm gonna have to give you the credit because you probably have more of the inside route on it than I have. Have you heard much about Crothersville high school girls or boys about what the expectations are, or really anything about it?
I know that the boys have been working their tails off. There's not going to really be a bad season with Lamont Bell as head coach. I know Noel Billings is the assistant, and he's a great basketball coach. Priscilla Rose took over our girls team, and she's awesome. She's high energy. She's passionate.
I recently met her. I think, I had nothing but positive vibes coming from her.
Yeah, she's going to pour her heart and soul into it. I think that's what that program needs. And she's been working the girls, and she's got more girls coming out, and she's going to do great things with that program. So I think the girls team is definitely, with Coach Rose, is going to take a huge step forward. And I think the boys basketball team, the expectations are always the same. I mean, they're a team that can compete for a district title every year. And I think they've got a lot of good dudes on the team. I mean, we share dudes.
I was going to say a lot of the players. Yeah, a lot of the players are the ones that we were saying the same names during football season with Avion and Jermonte and Sammy. Yeah,
and Florence Jackson and all those guys. And I know that they've been working hard in basketball. I know they come into PE every day, asking if we can go full court 5-on-5, and I tell them no every day, because we're playing pickleball. And hey, that's my favorite PE sport. So you're not interrupting my favorite PE sport for your favorite PE sport. But
what's wrong with dodgeball?
We do a dodgeball unit.
Okay.
where we play a bunch of different variations but it's like the soft dodgeballs that don't hurt. It's not like the old
That's
school
not.
red balls.
Yeah, that's not how I grew up. Those things
The
were
ones that hurt your
basketball
feelings.
size, pink, and they
Yeah.
would leave X's on your face when you got hit.
Yeah, we do like a dodgeball unit. We study, or I give them a sheet of the history of dodgeball. We play all these different variations and da da da. But pickleball is awesome. Like
That's what everyone says.
I won't go play with them at the rec because I'm gonna get tore up. Like I like playing the kids in PE that I can beat, and I won't even play the good kids either. That's my record so good.
Oscar, you play pickleball?
I'm more of a ping pong type of guy.
I like it. Yes.
Well, we had 3 ping pong tables in the field house, so every lift starts at 340. So if you get in there at 316, there's a line to get to the ping pong table.
Nice. And I wish Coach. I'm sure you've heard the name Buddy James. Yeah, he. We used to play ping pong when I was in PE, and he'd come up there and he would absolutely school you. He'd hustle you though. He'd let you get 2 or 3 points on him, and then you wouldn't score another point. Buddy James was a legend in Caruthersville.
Well, Wayne Smith, our IT director,
He's good.
I mean,
Yeah, I know
you
Wayne.
talk about someone who's good at pickleball. Like, I won't play Wayne in PE. I'll play the kids. Like,
Well,
Wayne's
sometimes
different.
you're just picking on kids then.
Yeah.
And you're okay with that.
Yeah, I lost 6 times today. This is the most losses I've had. Like, my feelings are hurt when I left school today. I mean, I played in khaki, so they got me today. But Wayne came in last year and he taped 4 legit pickleball courts on the field or in the gym, and he came in and he just demolished kids. Like without his he didn't even I don't even think he's had a beat of sweat.
I was gonna say he didn't feel bad.
That
about
guy's
it.
just built different when it comes to pickleball.
All right. Well,
No, I guarantee he didn't feel bad, but that's what I
no.
I was like, I want to get by Wayne. Absolutely not.
Well, let's. I guess we'll wrap it up. I know I've kept you a little bit longer than we usually go. Can you just give me your overall, absolute final thoughts on the 2023 Tiger football season?
I'm happy with the progress. Like I said, I think we left meat on the bones, and a lot of that has to do with our preparation in the off season. I think right now we're hitting the weight room. I mean, you're talking a week out of the season. We already have 50-something kids in the weight room, and they know they have Thanksgiving next week. I think everybody really understands. They finally started to learn how to win again. That they got that taste of victory and the winning season and all of that. And I think I'm proud of the kids. I'm proud of what we were able to accomplish. I know we got a little beat up, but we pushed through. We had a great year. We won a home playoff game. We were undefeated at home. Beat Kennett. That's huge. That was a great road win for us. And I'm proud of what we did this year. I think we need to take, as a typical head coach, we have to take another step forward. We're losing 5 guys, and those guys they'll be missed. But it's time to put the pedal to the metal and start getting ready for 24.
Well, I can tell you from being in the booth and when I wasn't there watching the games that I'm not saying there wasn't excitement last year, but I think the level of excitement increased very, very much this season.
Yeah, we had a ton. I mean, look, the kids did 230 hours of community service this summer. We raised a ton of money. We were able to get warm-ups. We were able to get pregame stuff. The community stepped up huge. I mean, we had a playoff game, and I texted Jim Tom on a Tuesday, and he was like, okay, I got the food for Valley Catholic ready. Miss Bullington bought a ton of snacks for the kids on the bus. We don't lack support this at all, ever. And we had a lot of support last year. I think a lot of people rallied around us more this year, and it was awesome. And I'm excited to see what we can do going forward.
Well, I can say from sitting in the booth and watching, I got all the fans just underneath me, and I don't recall a home game, where anybody left until the final 30 seconds or so.
Oh yeah, I mean, because they all ended up on the field. I'm giving a post-game speech in front of like 700 people.
Yeah, I know. You got to watch your mouth, don't you?
I definitely can't slip up. But
Oscar,
hey, home post speeches this year were awesome because we won. So
Oscar, when you either hear your name over the PA or just seeing how big of the Crowsville crowds are, does that? I mean, do you got goosebumps? Do you get fired up? Do you just? What's that do for you?
Man, I'm nervous before games. I ain't gonna lie. Like 30 minutes before, I'm gonna sit in my locker, listen to music, and then like the first play, if I get that first hit, it feels amazing. I ain't gonna lie. I hate getting the ball first with a passion. I hate it because like
I mean, I love that.
offense to me, like I don't like offense. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just want to hit somebody. So like I be over here pass protection. Ugh. Like I don't know how they don't be getting past me a lot. I just be chilling for real. And but as soon as that first snap of defense, oh, it's fun.
Well, guys, I'm gonna let you. It's past 7:30. I'm sure you guys have things to do. All I want to do is say uh, thank you, first of all, Oscar, for joining us on the Boot Hill Sports Network.
Thank you for
And
having us.
then, yes, sir, thank you. Great season. I can't wait to see you next season. And Coach G, thank you for joining us again. It's been an incredible season. People absolutely love watching you. I don't know if it's because you're attractive or just funny or what, but
it's a beard.
it is the beard, and I got one going too, so we're popular. All right, Coach G, you guys, both of you, have a good night, and we'll be talking to you soon. And I'm sure I'll be seeing both around the high school when basketball starts. I think the 5th.
Yeah, it's coming quick.
Yeah, it is. All right, thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.